What's going on, everybody? My name is Hasia Muhammad, and you are listening to The Actor's Instrument, where we discuss the essential qualities you need to stand out in the entertainment industry. There are some very exciting things happening for the show right now, and while we prep for a special announcement coming to you in a few weeks, we're continuing to take a look back at some of the best moments and best advice ever shared on the show. And we've got a banging lineup for this week's compilation. This episode features Poker Faces, Brandon Michael Hall, Wu-Tang and American Saga's Siddiq Saunderson, Terrifier 3's Charlotte McKee, Drama Desk Award winner Luis Quintero, A Black Lady Sketch Show's DaMya Gurley, The Penguins' Louis Cancelmi, Smile 2's Jarrett Austin Brown, FBI's Kylie Edwards, Medea on Broadway's Lizzy Brooks, and Ain't Too Proud's Elijah Ahmad Lewis. If you'd like to skip around, timestamps are in the episode description. This week, it is 10 Traits of Highly Successful Actors, Part 1. So this, my thematic question that I try and ask everybody.
Lovely, please.
The show's called The Actor's Instrument, right?
Yes.
As I said at the beginning, you're an anomaly. I don't think it's because of luck, but I do believe you have proven yourself to be the exception. What you have achieved in your first 8-ish years in your career, many actors never will ever. And I want to know what you attribute to that success. What is the quality? What is it about your instrument? Because something else that I think is really fascinating about your career that we should pay attention to is we can talk about all the show that didn't go.
Yeah.
The show that got picked up for a season and canceled. The show that got picked up for 2 seasons and canceled. But the thing is, Brandon, they keep bringing you back.
Wow.
And I think that's a clue into there's something beyond the shows, because shows can get picked up and canceled for reasons that we have nothing to do with. But why do they keep calling Brandon Michael Hall in?
Wow. Oh my goodness, what a question.
And I'm asking you to be a little self-centered.
Yeah, no, you are. That's throwing me off a little bit. When we talk, what it is my willingness. It's a few things, but off the top, and not to get too talk about myself, but it's my willingness to learn, because I think you can always see discovery in my eyes when I'm on the screen. Constantly learning something new. I'm constantly talking to people on set and trying to understand different positions. So I think having that camaraderie, which leads into the next one, which is I'm not afraid to get scrappy. And I think my what do you call it? Not record, but my work that precedes me, my reputation that precedes me is why they keep bringing me back. Because they know I'm down to work. They know I'm down to shoot the late hours. Even on projects where I'm not getting paid, I'm down to do it if I love it. I've worked on so many projects that haven't gotten paid and just wanted to be in the essence of working. And I always have a good time. And those conversations, they go to every department. And they've trusted me. They have my trust. They have my trust. No, they have my trust, which they trust me. There we go. They know that I can bring the work that they need, and that's to whatever producer or casting agent that they know I can deliver, and I will deliver every single time. There is no denying that. And so, that my scrappiness, my reputation, and my willingness to learn is why I believe they keep bringing me back. That's why I would bring anyone back.
My final question.
Mm-hmm.
This is The Actor's Instrument.
Mm-hmm.
What about your instrument? What quality? What is the defining quality that you possess that you feel like is your greatest strength that you bring to the table as a storyteller?
I think it's 2 things. I think it's my head and I think it's my heart. I think it's my head because I have the ability to visualize these kind of connections and the way things connect. And I have and then my heart because I have to trust that. I have to trust my instincts. I've always been good at being able to say, this is what I want, I'm going to get it. Or this is what I'm going after, and I'm going to commit to it 100%. And there's a level of kind of fearlessness that comes from having a strong heart and a strong spirit. So those two things together is what I bring to the table. I bring a strong head in my ability to see things connect, and a strong heart that allows me to be fearless in starting to connect the dots for myself.
The whole purpose of this show is for folks to be able to listen in and discover the qualities that they need in order to stand out in this industry. And so I want to know, for you, Charlotte McKee, what is the quality that you bring to the table as a storyteller that sets you apart?
Oh my God, I have no idea.
And I know I'm putting you on the spot. I'm making you talk about yourself.
No, I know that's because I want to be like, oh no, not me. I'm terrible. No, I'm really not that great. I'm like, I don't stand out at all. What do you mean? I guess I will say this, and CESD did say this to me when I met with them before we signed, because I sent them a lot of my self-tapes. And they said, you make big, bold choices and you don't give a fuck if they're wrong. And that was one of the points that sold them. Like, I might be completely wrong, but at least I go for it. You know, I make a choice. It might not be the right choice, but it's a goddamn choice. And I'm gonna, you know, I like to be big. I make big choices. I like big things. Go for it, you know? And I always feel like they can bring you down. You can be less. It's so easy to be less. Just don't do as much. But it's better to go big and then have to be brought down than to get an audition and just kind of be like, I'm saying the words.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah.
I love that. I love that about you. I think that is such a great trait for any actor to have, to make big, bold choices, because as you said earlier, you're going to get the script. Who knows? Like, you can't try and do the right thing, you know, because one, you might not get a script. Two, even if you do get it, it's still an interpretation. So for you to have the confidence, even if you don't feel it's confidence, but for you to make those choices and make them big, and as your agent said, you don't give a fuck if it's wrong or right.
Yeah, just go for it.
That's,
you know, if anything, the casting director, I mean, obviously you can't be crazy. Like, it has to be truthful. It has to make sense. It has to be honest.
mm-hmm.
But go for it. And also, like, what do you want this character to be? What do you want this scene to look like? What's possible here? You know, I feel like a lot of times actors feel like we don't have control. Like, we're directed and written into circumstance, and we have to honor those circumstances, which is true.
Mm-hmm.
But you're an artist just as much as any other artist. And what are you bringing to this as an artist? What are your creative ideas? Like, you know, use your imagination. Like, what could happen here? What could this be? Does it make sense? Then let's do it.
What is your defining quality as an actor? What is that part of your instrument that makes Luis stand out? That's it.
The spirit of the clown. The spirit of the clown, I think, would be something.
No, that's the right answer. I would say that.
Like, I approach things with a sense of earnestness and curiosity. Even with Medea, which is a darker piece, like, the clown can be a little dark too, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, but I would say that it stems from the clown, like a sense of, and I'm not talking about like Stephen King's It kind of clown either. I'm talking like the childlike wonder, creativity, innovation, something that's simple and unexpected, something that is earnest, and, you know, shout out to Matt Bullock, R.I.P. But, like, you know, keep it simple, keep it true and clear. So Yeah, I would say that earnestness.
I love it. And
That was good.
I like your sound.
Yeah. Well, I've had people also go, everybody, if you have a honk, like, you should definitely try your honk.
Yeah, work on your honks, folks. So I would like to know, I'm going to ask you to like kind of put yourself up on a pedestal real quick. What is it about your instrument? What is your defining quality that you feel sets you apart from other actors?
Okay. I want to say that I approach everything inner child first. I come into it with just this naivete. I don't want to say naivete, but like there is nothing. I could be doing something for 5 to 10 years, but I'm stepping onto a new project. Like this is the first time I've ever gotten this opportunity. I'm going to ask so many questions. I'm just going to be very, very curious. I could go in for a horror movie audition. I feel like I know everything that there is to know about horror movies, but I'm still going to find questions to ask, new things to learn. If I leave an experience without a question answered, I've wasted my time. I always want to pick up something new. And I feel like that's how I was as a kid. Like if I'm walking into a room and I see something bright and red, I'm gonna run to it. And I'm like, oh, Mom, what's this? And I'm gonna play with it. And I'm gonna look at it and inspect it. And that's just a quality about myself that I never want to lose. I don't care what I've booked or who I've gotten a chance to be around. I want to keep that childlike curiosity, and I never want to get too cocky. I never want to feel like I'm above any experience, because once I look back, I see that there was just so much I picked up and I learned along the way. And this is not to slight, actors that do the research before entering the room, but I think the room is a part of the research, and I wish a lot more people approached it that way. In this industry, you're going to hear a lot of no's. So you have to find something to take with you regardless.
Right.
If you let that no define you, it's just going to take a lot out of you. And you'll just look up one day like, wait, why did I start this? What am I doing? Who am I? And I don't want that to happen to me. So I always want to, feed that inner child part of me. I always want to go find the big, bright red thing, no sweater intended. But like, I just feel like it's easy to go through the motions. It's easy to get caught up in the survival of it all. It's easy to, just remembering why you started can take you so far. So I always try to watch, listen to musicals that I used to love when I was younger, watch those shows that piqued my interest. I'm going to always go back and watch Halloween 1 through 4. I'm going to always,
Okay.
I don't want to lose those parts about myself, that curiosity, that excitement, that passion before paycheck was even a factor in this. And as you know, as actors, it's easy to lose that. So that's always going to be my secret weapon.
What sets Louis Cancelmi apart?
I don't know what anybody would say from the outside, but I like to go at it. I like to make it real, if I can. I like to play. I don't know that sets me apart, but it is something that I bring. I like to bring the whole instrument, the whole body, voice, soul, and yeah, I don't know if that sets me apart, but that's
Something sets you apart, Louis. And I can, even through this screen, I can feel it. Jarrett, I got one final question for you.
Let's do it.
You're on the actor's instrument. What would you consider the defining qualities that you bring to the table as a storyteller that set you apart from everyone else?
I want to say work ethic, but a lot of people have great work ethic. I want to be more specific than that. I view the art like a craft. And with that being said, when you work with me, I'm very specific and I pay crazy close attention to detail. I think oftentimes every single actor wants to be Superman, and it's like, you're not always going to be able to just be the most powerful actor that you are. So you got to be able to dial into the Batman side of you that's just with the craft. Like, you sit up and you read every single line. You know how to, even if my instrument's not on cue today, I know how to get this across and get the job done. And I think that's where I thrive. I thrive in a space where it's like, can we have divine moments? Yes, we can have beautiful moments where you're super in touch with everything going on. But also sometimes it's like 4 a.m. and you're freezing and you're hungry and you're tired and 18 people on set are arguing at each other because they want to rap and so many other things. And while you're trying to use that instrument, you don't know how. So when you build the skill set and you build the craft, no matter what the surrounding things you have going on, you can tap in and still execute the job. So I would definitely say that's something from my instrument that I'm very keen on. Like, I'm very keen on, like, how can I get this done? 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 And a producer in as well. So it's something that I definitely say sets me apart from a lot of people. I can sit down with, and I've actually done this with directors before. I worked on projects with directors, and I sat down and looked at the script, and I've said something to them that they didn't see. And they'll look at me and be like, how the hell did you see that? And I'm like, because I'm so far between those lines. Like, I'm in, like, how do I? What does this mean?
Yeah.
What does that mean? What is this? So that's definitely something for me. I say it's a skill set.
Heard. What is the one thing that sets Kylie Victoria Edwards apart from anyone else?
That's a really hard question. Okay. I would like to think that the thing that sets me apart is the ability to physicalize characters. I think that there is a really strong gift that comes with the dance background that ties into acting, because there is this way of being in your body. And I think that typically for me, if I'm trying to access a character, that's the first thing that I do, is like think about what are they wearing and how would they exist like in their own skin and bones and in the world. And I know that there's a lot of people who come from dance backgrounds, so I don't know if that's necessarily like specific to me.
Well, I don't know too many dancers guest starring on FBI. Just to say.
Thank you.
I'd agree that sets you apart. It's a unique thing that you have, and you literally accidentally stumbled upon this love of acting, which I think is just so dope, because I don't know, I feel like I've always wanted to be an actor, and I think it's really cool that we're in an industry where somebody, not later, you weren't old, you were still young, but later, maybe later than most people, choose their career, you were still able to find yourself in this business and you're killing it.
Thank you. It's funny, I think I've always wanted to act. I think it was just something that I was too scared to admit, and it feels nice to like own that. Like, the claim of identity of I'm an actor feels so nice, because I was so scared to say it for a really long time. In the last 2 years, it's been so nice when people are like, well, what do? You're like, I'm an actor. It feels like nice to
Say that.
to be able to like back it up.
Yeah. I love that. I love that for you. What makes Lizzy Brooks special?
Yeah, I say, you know what? I feel like there's always going to be someone that's like taller, prettier, smarter, blah, blah, blah. Like, that's just how the world is. But I work very hard. I will outwork a lot of people. And that I can bank on. I think Will Smith has said a very similar thing. Like, I like to work. I will do the work. So that's what sets me apart, and that's what that's where my confidence comes from. Because I'm like, yeah, I'll work. I'll outwork you. I'll be in the studio. I'm gonna memorize it. Don't play with me. Yeah. So that and with that, because that allows me to be freer in my art and dive into all these other things. But I think that sets me apart as an actor, is that I just work really hard. And it's not for anybody else. I think I also am really good at being like, nope, this is my journey. I'm working on this. And I think that helps me be better and more open when I'm not looking left and right and being like, oh, well, she booked that. And, I'm not interested in that. It's only for myself and where I am. And I also think that with that, it allows me to cheer other people on, because I'm not comparing myself, because there's, it can be so scarce. But I think that,
I'll outwork you. Let's do it. Let's have a competition about that. I'm competitive, man.
Okay,
So
challenge accepted. Challenge accepted.
yeah, that's what I would say.
I love it. It's so true about you. I remember we went on that hike in Alabama, and you and I were like so far ahead of everybody. And I remember we stopped at one point, and you're like, yeah, I haven't been hiking a long time, but I wasn't gonna let you beat me.
And I almost passed out. I literally almost passed out. I actually sat down and was like, keep it together.
I'm crying.
But it was fun.
I'm crying.
was
It
fun.
wasn't even a race, but no, you're being honest right now.
I am.
Lizzy, thank you so much for making time to chat today. My final question for you about you, Elijah. What is your defining quality that you bring to the table as a storyteller? What is it that sets you apart?
I have never been a person to be scared of work. I've worked for a very long time, whether, starting in the entertainment at 7, but I've done a lot of work. And even if you take it out of entertainment and helping my dad with stuff and my uncle with stuff, building or moving, or I've never been shy from work. I think that is one thing today that is lacking from people, putting in the actual work. You want the outcome, you want the glit, you want the glamour, you want the name, you want the credit, you want the notoriety, but where's the work? I never want to be famous or known to be famous or known. I want to be famous or known based upon the quality of my work and what I give. And what I will always do is I will work for perfection. I will never be perfect. But if I made it in the likeness of God, just my spiritual thing, and He is perfection, I strive to be perfect. I know I will make mistakes. I know things will be off, but I work to perfection. So whatever job, whatever contract I have, know that whatever the goal is, I will work my darnest to get there. To whatever your vision is, to whatever you foresee for this role, for this character, for this show, I will work to get there. And I will always work in my true authenticity of myself and bringing and putting my whole self in it. Like I said before, we pour ourselves into things. There are some people who pour parts of themselves into things. And that's not to say that they're doing anything wrong with them doing that. But I am the type of person that whatever you need, I'm going to get the job done. Just let me know what I need to do. Give me 5 or 10 minutes to think about it. Go it over, what needs to be done, what needs to be called of me for this. And I will work until it's met. Whether that's
I love that.
whatever the show needs. There are times where things that need to happen for the show that people need, that they'll call me because they know by any means I'm going to get it done for you. So I think that's what I bring.
Thank you all so much for tapping into this week's episode of The Actor's Instrument. If you enjoyed it, then you'll love our 30 minutes of the best and free casting advice ever shared on the show. So be sure to check that episode out. Before you go, please give us a follow or subscribe. It really helps out a ton, and you don't want to miss this announcement coming up. We'll be back next Tuesday. Till next time, y'all. Peace.